Hello, everyone. This is Realtor Linda Peltz. Today I'm here with Leena, and she's going to tell you all about what she can do for you. Take it away, Leena.
Absolutely. So I'm originally from the Central Valley and I moved up here in the Silicon Valley right before COVID happened. And so I have built a really robust team, a robust network as well. So I'm an executive coach and business strategist. I'm also a co-founder for Cobble Tree, which is all-in-one marketing software platform. And we really help businesses streamline and scale and grow, and then really using AI and automation to help you do that. So
Oh, that
we
AI
definitely
is becoming big. Yeah,
it is, yeah. So it saves money, saves time, and it's really helping businesses focus on what really creates additional revenue. So, we're coming on 6 years here, where in the next 6 years, where 70 baby boomers are going to retire. So there's a massive shift in wealth and a massive shift in information. And how are we in front of that? So
and I'm not sure a lot of us baby boomers are kind of moved into that direction. So I know a lot of my realtor cohorts would probably benefit from from learning from you.
yeah, absolutely. So it really just it captivates. So our software captivates. It's a CRM, so it does have that as one of the bells and whistles, but it also streamlines all your communication. So you shouldn't be on LinkedIn and email, WhatsApp, so Instagram, Facebook. You shouldn't have all those windows open because it can all be integrated. So the keyword is integrated, coming all into one software so that you can manage the communication from being a potential client, or prospect to a full-on client. And so
That is tough.
how,
And I do run into that myself is
yeah,
so many messengers, so many ways to contact people, and you're always afraid you're going to miss one, or because you get so busy. My phone goes constantly, and between the texts and the emails and like you say, all the different social media messengers and different things. So that's great to know that there is a CRM out there.
yeah. So it does that, but it's a very robust system. Also, what are you doing in your business that what workflow do you have that's automated? And a lot of people are not automating their systems. So you should not be sending an email out to every customer. It should already be done for you anywhere from 3 to 7. You can have 3 to 7 email campaigns or whatever your amount is so that it's automatically like, welcome, Linda, next email will say something else. And so it should be already scheduled for you. And I think businesses don't are not aware of that. Also, what is your, are you calling back all your customers? And so, back in the day, we had a regular phone connected to the wall and, it was a dial up. But now we have everything where AI can do that for you, can answer the calls, book your appointments for you. If instead of calling 20 people back, it'll actually drop your voicemail in case they don't answer, and it does it automatic. And so once they get someone on the call, they can say, "Hey, Linda, I'd love for you to, do you have a time at this?" AI is going to answer that for you and say, "Do you have would you like to take this call?" And you'll say, "No, I like go ahead and schedule it for Monday." It'll book that call for you. So it literally is your virtual assistant. It's a smart tool to use. And so what I really love about working with businesses is like, I work with successful businesses, so they're already doing great. But what are they doing to become better? What are they doing to grow and scale to get to the next level? And
That's very
typically they have, right? So they typically have something that is causing kind of a congestion in the pipeline. And how do we streamline that pipeline so that so if they like to be in front of customers more, or what is it that's creating that revenue for them that really drives that, customers in the door, so to speak. And so we work heavy in the digital space, but it doesn't mean that we know people are not a fan of AI and automation. But if you don't know what it is, how do you not like it, right? So, and it's just really like,
I think
it's just
in
like,
general, people are kind of scared of change, right? And it's just a new
sure.
way of doing things. And I do think I've used it somewhat, and it's wonderful. I mean, it really, I get it. It's AI, but it really exhibits what I'm trying to tell people a lot better than what I just told them. So it's like, cool.
Absolutely. And so it can, but it also there's data analytics behind it. So where are your client? It tells you where your client's at. It can tell you where an item is at on a line, but a budget line item, if it's a public document, where can you find funding? How to make sure it's not just, it's much more than email. So I know a lot of people say I use that for email. I'm like, are you using it for data analytics? Are you using it to analyze what's going well in your business, what's not going well? I also use it to help my clients, like, prepare for presentations, really have more public interfacing. So if they're running for politics or they're a senior leader in an organization, like how are they positioning themselves for that authority and really building their brand from there? And so it does require for them to prepare and really to posture their leadership for what's ahead. So I use AI quite a bit for that. And the coaching, like what is it if there's a block that they're not realizing they have, like, oh, I've always done it this way. And it's like, right, but it was 2024. So what are we doing to be successful now? Right. And so it could be something they didn't realize, they were afraid. Maybe a business partner burned them.
Mhm.
And so, and they're not trusting themselves. And we've all had that. We just may not want to raise our hand and admit it. And
Exactly.
you're like, well,
We
Leena,
all
I
could
could tell
use
you.
a little help.
Right. And so that's where the coaching comes in is what's getting you stuck? What's pulling you back? What's not, why you're not taking a step forward in that direction. So it's not always change management. A lot of times it's us as well. Like we're afraid of because of something happened, right? Or experience, or we don't trust ourselves. And so where is it that we need to grow and go in that direction? And so really addressing that so that we can remove the limitation and then really accelerate that growth. So I love what I do. I love seeing my clients really make a huge impact.
I can
And
hear the
then really,
passion in your voice. That's wonderful.
thank you. Thank you. Yes. So, well, it's interesting because I come from the Central Valley and Central Valley is very powerful. And so people don't realize it. We talk bad about Fresno, but it's about a lot of wealth there.
Mhm.
And so what's interesting is I'm finding a lot of, high level, this is here in the Silicon Valley, you're talking about ideas to implementation for the world, right? So
Right.
you have NASA down the street, you have the highest business, per square footage is right down the street, Sand Hill Road. Atherton has the most like wealth between Atherton and Palo Alto. It's not here, it's not millionaires, it's billionaires. You have a lot of billionaires here. And so interesting is when I meet them, they want to do business in Fresno. So, and people don't realize that. And so who's making 100 million in Fresno? People don't know that. And
Mhm.
so they think, well, it's not thriving. I'm like, I don't think that's true because
That's why
it's
we're
really,
listed as one of the hot spots. And I tell you, our
yeah.
housing, of course I'm in real estate, but our housing has jumped, triple to what it used to be a few years back. And um I mean, it's growing, and they've done these articles on Fresno on how it's, the next place to invest, it's this, it's that, which has caused another housing shortage for all our people and different things. So articles like that kind of contradict, some of the other articles on, Fresno's this, Fresno's that. It's like, then why are we the hot spot and why are we so short on housing for all our people if nobody wants to be here? Obviously, people want to be here. So
Yeah, so it's also doing business there, right? And so be looking big picture, so really also in the next 6 years, what are we looking at for mergers and acquisition? Do you have your savings? Are you able to purchase a business when they want to offload? So a baby boomer can come across and say, hey, or someone who's a young retiree and says, they're 40 years old, they're ready to retire. And do you have the money saved so that you're able to purchase that business? So I already see that stuff happening in Fresno in a large scale, and people are not paying attention to that. And so they're like, there's nothing here in Fresno. And I'm like, I don't think so.
good. That
Because
gives you an in.
so I'm very grateful to be in the position I am in. Because then, I let business leaders here in the Silicon Valley know I'm from the Central Valley. I'm from Fresno. I know that landscape and political landscape well. So they're just like, great, let's do it. And so, really, I think it's important to know where you're at, right? To know what direction it's going, what are the trends that are happening, what are the challenges, and then where can you provide an opportunity for that solution. So Fresno's real estate. I mean, I have real estate in Fresno as well, and I'm very grateful for that. But it really is a thriving community, and really have to look at it like that. And people also live in Fresno and live in another location. So
Mhm.
that's their second or third house. So people think like, well, I'm just trying to buy a house. Well, there's people who live in three houses, right? And so thinking again, big picture, this next 6 years really can put us in a position of wealth and information
Mhm.
more than ever. And so it has nothing necessarily to do with AI or technology. It has to do with the shift in what's happening with retirees, with businesses, with growth and impact. And so I love talking about that stuff, but also seeing people be in front of it.
Well, it ties in with the affordable housing of California. We are the affordable housing, and it's kind of ridiculous, but it's still more affordable than a lot of the other areas. And they are, after COVID hit, right, they kind of transitioned more into home offices versus going into businesses. So, like Silicon Valley and different things, some of the big offices shut down because everybody moved to the home office. Well, housing's so much more affordable in Fresno. So guess what? We got a lot of people from Silicon Valley and some of the other areas, that's working from home and don't have to go back to the offices because we are the affordable housing of California. So there is a lot of wealth down here. And it's run very differently, I think, than it was, pre-COVID. So the landscape changed forever, people. So,
Absolutely. So also, like, so what are the other houses are they looking at to purchase over the next 6 years, right? So they're
mhm,
rather than just like, hey, I bought a house, like where are you in front of that with people who want to move out of Fresno, right?
mhm,
Because Fresno has become expensive as well. It's grown, that I would say, I mean, property values have doubled, almost doubled, and if not at least 30% over COVID. And I don't know that people are necessarily paying attention to that opportunity, right? So
mhm.
they might see it as a problem. And so anytime I see a pain point, I see an opportunity. And so it's really how you look at it. And then but I love it because people are like, you're from Fresno? I'm like, I am from Fresno. And they're like, we need some connections. I'm like, I got you. Let's do this. So
Yeah.
I think it's a time to really rally around, the success that Central Valley already provides. And then where can you, like I said, like where can you be in front of that? Where can you partner? Where can you build that bridge?
Mhm.
The real estate it's only going to get bigger and better. And and it can also position you differently. So yeah, I love
Well,
that you're doing that, Linda.
the great thing about you is you can work with any business, not just us realtors, not just in the real estate field. You could help some of our corporations down, and we have a lot of small companies that's trying to grow, right? And they, oh, hey, start a business, but you don't always have the skills. Hey, come to
Right.
Leena people, let her help you grow that business. Maybe that's not your strong suit, your marketing or your customer service or something, let Leena help you with that, So it's great because you can work with any businesses down in through here,
Thank
not
you.
just us realtors, although us realtors could probably use you.
Well, I say because real in the real estate, I mean, here people want to buy, they're going to buy in cash from the Silicon Valley. So that's can make it difficult for people in Fresno because that's your competition is people who have cash, right? So, but
Right.
for a real estate agent, getting connected with the right people here in Silicon Valley who have that opportunity, then it's great. As far as the business growth, I'll tell you that, you know, it's important to know what's happening outside of Fresno so you can know so you can position yourself. And so Fresno, I think sometimes we're anti-technology or like, we just kind of stay in our bubble. Every town does that.
Well, I
Every
think we leave
community
it to
does that.
Silicon Valley because they feel you're so much smarter than we are. We're just Fresno.
No, it's just like, what is it that's going to build for our next, 5 and 10 years? And what are we doing to position ourselves? Right. So, tech is not always an answer. It can be, but it's not always the answer.
Well, I
And
think it's a
so,
part of it, maybe not all of it, but I do think it's
sure.
a bit, and especially into the future, I do think it's a big part of it, which is one of the reasons I moved, years back over to eXp Realty because they were further into the technology, and that's where I did see my industry headed was, the technology part of it, and a lot of our mom and pop brokerages and different things just weren't cutting it. They were back stuck on the old ways, mailing out mailers or, whatever, the old style, knocking on doors. We were in a new landscape and you better start moving forward.
Absolutely. And then also like, so I will say why I love technology is because before you'd have to go to a lot of networking events, right? And I do that. But also digital marketing can grab your clients. If you have a brick and mortar, are you using digital marketing to grab new people? Like, how are you staying top of mind so that clients always know? Because they're not people aren't coming to your door, right? And then also, how are you drawing traffic to your website? That is your brick and mortar.
Mhm. That's the
It's a
new brick and
20
mortar. Yes, you're right.
Right. So 24-hour, your website should be a 24-hour like machine so that if someone's at 1 o'clock looking for, whatever your product is, are you making sure you're responding? And a lot of people don't have that feature on their website. They're not responding and it's easy. So I'll give you an example. 2 weeks prior to the Super Bowl, I get a text message saying, congratulations on your team. They're going to the Super Bowl. Do you have your gear ready to go in 2 weeks? It came from Dick's Sporting Good.
Mhm.
And it shocked me at first, but I was kind of like, I really thought the other way. And I said, well, I should have 20 text messages like this. So how did Dick's know that I was a 49ers fan? Right. And
That is
so,
pretty cool. Yeah.
right. So when you know your customer then what is engaged. And then you don't have, it doesn't cost you as much for client acquisition because I'm already a customer. So entertaining me and engaging me, I will consistently go in, purchase because they know who I am and they
Hmm.
knew that I was a 49ers fan. So when you don't know your customer and you have to keep grabbing new people to come into the brick and mortar of the website, you're losing a lot of money and opportunity. So nurturing what you already have, there's a lot of power in that and there's a lot of profit in that, but people don't do it. And the digital space can offer that. So even like saying, like if I see you in the community, right? Hi, Linda, that's community engagement. But did you know that you can use that, when it comes to technology? And when you don't say, it's like you're like, hey, I know Lena, we've had lunch several times. She didn't say hello. It's not good, right? It's not good etiquette. It's not good engagement. And so what are we doing to welcome people to our business all the time? And how are we
Definitely.
making sure that we're, really positively positioning ourselves to take care of our customers for their customer success? So
Mhm.
yeah, so I love talking about that.
Very, very cool features. I know. I love it too. Um, Tell us, how can we get a hold of you if somebody wants to use your services or at least check on pricing or I don't know how do they get a hold of you, Lena?
So I'm at LeenaMendoza.com. I'm also, there's a QR code in case they were able to see this visually. Also cobbletree.com, COBLE dot and tree.com. I'm also at LinkedIn. So they can reach me there and I will be happy to answer any questions, connect them to resources, and then maybe just even listen to what their, opportunities are. And so I love breaking bread with people, getting on a Zoom as well in case they're too far and really building those relationships long term. So
Very nice. How about like a phone number? Do they contact you much the old style way with phone?
of course. So 559-930-2440 and just email Lena at LenaMendoza.com. And so it's the easiest way to get a hold of me.
Very nice. And we will also include that information down below, people. So don't think that it's just, oh, hey, I better write this down real fast. Everybody, this is Realtor Linda Peltz. I love having these little Zooms. They're so informational. And Lena, that's wonderful service. Everybody, my license number is 01997670, and I look forward to helping you with all your real estate needs. Everybody have a great day.